being vulnerable for women, right? But what does it really mean to be vulnerable in today's world? Do you know what vulnerability is? And have you ever thought about how it might appear in your own life? Do you see it as a weakness, something to be avoided, or as a strength that can help you grow and connect with others? What if I told you that vulnerability is actually the path to your success in modern times, opening up new opportunities and allowing you to live more authentically? Hi, how are you? How's everyone doing? This is Cynthia Maria, life coach. I've been working with men for over 6 years now. I have the privilege of having many clients who talk about the transformation they've experienced throughout the work they've done with me. And I'm here to bring you topics of genuine interest to you. Vulnerability in leadership. What does it mean? Why do you say it brings me success? In today's world, leaders everywhere are increasingly looking to genuinely connect and engage with people. They're not trying to dominate. They're not trying to impose. The more you impose on others, the more you demand from them. And this principle truly applies to any aspect of your life, whether it's at work, in your personal relationships, or even in your day-to-day interactions. The more you demand, the more resistance and pushback you're inevitably going to encounter, gentlemen. So, what does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean to be a leader in modern times? Something many people haven't taught you is the power of having an emotional connection with others. That your mere presence inspires respect. That just by seeing you, people feel inspired to work. They want to be inspired, to truly have your remarkable presence always near them. The closest connections to you are the ones most affected by the presence and character you have developed over the years. Let me give you an example. I have a client I've been working with for several months now who used to be quite reactive, someone who would hide their emotions or swing between two extremes. Either they're overly reactive because they bottle everything up until they explode, or they go to the other extreme and stay silent to avoid causing conflict. Both approaches are wrong, and neither works in your favor. What if I told you that vulnerability is, in fact, the essential key to your success? The fact that you can effectively and clearly communicate what you truly want, that you capture people's attention because you know exactly what your needs are and you express them with genuine confidence and conviction, not out of lack or because you think people won't listen to you, but because you genuinely believe in your own voice. Remember that the presence and character you develop as a man will inspire the people around you, whether in family relationships or at work. Let me continue telling you about this client who had these two areas that were completely extreme. One of the things we had to work on was accepting that vulnerability is actually a gift. And if you know how to use it, it can open the doors to success. It's very different when you arrive at your office and tell your assistant what needs to be done that day, demanding the tasks you expect to have completed by the end of the day. It's very different when you get home and expect dinner to be ready, and you have all these expectations because you're the one who wears the pants in the house. Compared to having the presence and connection needed so that without you saying a word, everything is organized because you inspire them to be their best selves. What if you arrive one day and your assistant has your entire week already planned out, all your tasks completely finished, and your coffee ready for you when you get there? Do you know how you actually achieve that? By consciously controlling your reactions and knowing that managing your emotions, as well as co-regulating with the people you truly care about, will have a much greater impact than simply trying to impose your authority. That's obsolete. Men just don't do that anymore. There's a pretty big shift. Things that maybe you learned from your father, your grandfather, but this kind of authority no longer exists. There is no place for it in the modern era. So, how can we be successful leaders? It's through connection. And connection is, in many ways, intricately connected to self-confidence, emotional control, and knowing how to communicate effectively. And to be able to communicate effectively, as you might expect, you obviously have to know what you need, what your patterns are, how you connect with yourself. How am I going to ask someone to connect with others when they don't even know how to connect with themselves? And that's precisely why we've created a program that's been specially designed for all those individuals who are truly ready to become leaders of the modern era and to be absolutely, completely irresistible. A truly magnetic presence that naturally draws attention, but also inspires genuine respect. This Irresistible Man course is designed to be exclusive for people who are actively going through their personal development journey, but who are now ready to connect more deeply with those around them, especially with women, in a truly special and meaningful way. Do you want to hear more about this? Go to the description. If you like this video, please give me a like and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you always get notifications about the content I have. I want you to know that this video will be useful, so send it to anyone you think it would be appropriate to share it with, because vulnerability is the new attractiveness in people. But many men are confusing the concept of vulnerability because vulnerability is very different for men and for women. And I'm going to explain it in this video, which I want you to go watch so you can understand the difference between how women process emotions and how men process emotions. Vulnerability does not mean simply crying for weeks on end just because something didn't go your way, or constantly complaining all the time about every little thing that happens. That is not true vulnerability. Vulnerability is knowing what you need, when you need it, and communicating it effectively. A clear example of this, and something that happens a lot, is when men come home and their partner wants to talk to them, wants to connect, wants to tell them about her day, and the man says, "You know what? I'll listen to her because I don't really have another choice," right? And suddenly she thinks you're not really present, because in reality, you aren't present and you have no interest in hearing about her day. What does it truly mean to be vulnerable and to communicate effectively with someone you care about? For example, you might say, "Right now, I'm still carrying a lot of stress from work. Let me go for a run, take some time to clear my mind, and really step out of entrepreneur or business owner mode so I can give you my full, undivided attention because you absolutely deserve it." How different does that sound, right? If you want to be the next irresistible man, go to the link in the description. See you there. Thank you for watching the video.